Hey guys, it's Junior. Welcome back to Horsepower Warehouse. You guys know me primarily for my Corvette builds, but I have something really neat that I wanted to share with you guys. I couldn't just not put this on Horsepower Warehouse before it goes down to the South Soil and gets sold. I'm going to have it for a brief time up here at the main warehouse, so check this thing out. 1957 Bel Air. This is a really rare color. It's called Dusk Pearl. The interior is called India Ivory. It's like silver. I don't know why they call it that, but this thing is, holy moly, look at the color. It's like a silver purple. You know, it definitely has a purple hue to it. Let me try to capture the reflection here so you can kind of see. The metallic is so fine, it's almost like a pearlescent. I mean, it's a super fine metallic in it, and it just absolutely pops. Now, of course, this car has had a complete frame-off restoration, not done by myself, but obviously by someone who takes pride in craftsmanship and what they do. There was a tremendous amount of money spent on this. I could just identify it, being a builder myself. I mean, look at all of the polished and bright work. It's all brand new. All the glass is brand new. I mean, literally, all of the seals, everything has been replaced on this car. There was a truly open pocketbook, so to speak. I'm not a car salesman. I'm not even going to get into the sales spiel about how much, you know, the company is asking for this thing. But I can assure you that for the asking price of this vehicle, there's no way I could build it for you at that price. Even donor car aside, I mean, this thing, the paint job would be easily $20,000. Easily. Just paint by itself, 20 grand to get this quality. I mean, this is truly a show quality job. Fantastic. Let's take a sneak peek inside here. Now guys, I didn't detail this thing before this. This one's actually getting ready to go to the South store, so I knew I had to hurry up and get this thing onto the Horsepower Warehouse before it just disappears. There's so many cars that come through here that I just don't even get the chance to show you guys. And it sucks because, I mean, it's gorgeous. They come and go so quickly. All the gauges, I mean, are just beautiful. The steering wheel, the headliner, I mean, all the interior trim is beautifully done. Look at the dashboard, the radio, the clock, everything, all of the hardware is correct. There's no mismatched screws. I mean, I have a kind of an anal retentive thing going where I can easily identify when something is done shoddily, I guess is the nicest way to say it. Check it out, all the correct bezels on the screws, and just good job. Whoever did this, you know, unnamed man, well done, sir. This is representative of what I hope to achieve when I do restorations. I mean, look up under the dash. There's it's beautiful. Holy cow. So not only is it a really neat color, but the restoration quality is something that I would like to put my name on. Sorry to say I didn't build this one, guys. I could, and I have. I've not built one in Dusk Pearl, but I wanted to pop the trunk, not only to show you guys inside here. And again, this isn't a sales video. If you want to buy it, you're not going to talk to me. I'm just the monkey in the back room. But I thought it was really neat. These are copies of everything from the original owner service policy, the original license receipt, the original car invoice. This thing sold brand new for a total of $3,045.35. It looks like the two-tone paint was 21 bucks and 55 cents. Just kind of a nice board setup. That is the original Cal tag. That's not a it's not a piece of paper. There she is, showing the original, you know, trim and paint codes. Really neat. I don't know where the trailer ended up, but not something I'd want to put this car in anyhow. So how are you gonna put a gorgeous car like this in a trailer that looks like that? Come on. You guys want to see underneath the hood? Might as well. But before we do, let's take a look. Oh man, all the bezels are beautiful. Everything is nice and completely done. Even where you don't look, it's all nice new hardware up in there. T3 headlights. I mean, good job, man. Good job. Kind of wish I could meet the guy who did this. Come on. Can't tell me. Oh, there we go. I just wasn't lifting it high enough. I mean, look, brand new hinges and brand new springs and brand new everything. Why wouldn't it lift? Because I'm on YouTube and I'm recording. Check it out. What you would expect underneath the engine bay here. I like it. I like it. Delco on the master. Delco on the generator. Just beautiful. Everything is done really, really nicely. No silliness going on here. And by silliness, I mean incorrect stuff. I mean all the hose clamps are correct. These hose clamps are a bear if you don't have the right tool to use them. All the correct GM branding on all the heater hoses, lower hose, upper hose. All of the wiring is nice and neat. All the finish work on the firewall is beautiful. You know, even where you can't really see up in there is beautiful. Dang. Good work. A little bit of chipping going on here in the intake manifold. That's all right. I can see why. I think so. Well, maybe not. When they were trying to get this clamp on, when you get the tool in there, they probably chipped it on the way out. It's just speculative. Underneath the hood is beautiful. Man. Rare color car, and it was done just spectacularly. Holy cow. There's another poster board underneath here. And that's your first clue with the dusk pearl and India ivory. 283, 220 horse. Nice. Very nicely done. Let's go ahead. Always locate the keys prior to closing the trunks, ladies and gentlemen. Ask me how I know such knowledge. Oh boy. It's not a fun mistake to make. Everything closes really nice and tight. It's all brand new gaskets. I mean, as you would expect. This thing is like a finely tuned watch, I guess. A mid-50s Chevrolet made watch. Dang, that color. That's what sells it. We've had a bunch of 55s, 56, 57. Well, Tri-5 Chevys come through here quite a bit. But this dusk pearl, really neat. So let's go ahead and one pump. Temperamental because I have the camera rolling. There we go. So you just needed just a hint of throttle. That's all right. As you can see, 221 miles on this thing since it was built. So it is far from broken in, and of course it needs shook down. I usually run them up to 500-mile mark and then recheck every bolt on the engine. And then of course completely retune it, you know, reset the timing, make sure everything is good with the mixture screw and the idle. See, all brand new gaskets, so you can't be terribly gentle with these. There we go, closed. So I know I wouldn't tell you guys too much about the sales stuff, but in case you're curious, you can go ahead and pause it now. And right there. But let's go ahead and get it inside before someone hits us in the parking lot here. I don't know about you guys, but when I have a car of this caliber, I can't leave it in the parking lot and not feel some sort of angst internally. This thing runs really nice. I know it's a fresh new build and it hasn't been shook down yet, but it gives me no problems. Just a little bit of push on the door and she shuts nicely. Check out this one. Another really, really cool car, 67 Le Mans. We have it for sale, 38.7. The exterior is really nice. The interior is what absolutely makes this car, I think, special. Carpet is green, dashboard is green, seats, door panels. Really, really neat. I know it's not a GTO, but come on guys, look at this thing. Beautiful color. Very, very nice. The reason I'm even doing the video on this car, by the way, is because one of you guys actually left a comment, hey, show me the black and white 57 Bel Air that you have on the rack. Unfortunately, that car came and went, it's gone. So I didn't have the chance to show it to you guys, but this is my way of making it up to you, is showing you the other 57 Bel Air that we got going. You guys have seen this in a previous video. I did a test drive. That one's going to the South Store, the boutique. Oh man, no admittance. Well, no one's looking, so. This is a Myers-Manx. We actually have the body just sitting on top of it. This is going to paint. It's going to be painted in a really neat paint job, so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but it's going to be super, super cool. And I guess this is a pretty dang rare dune buggy. It was actually built on a VW Bug. My guy over here, Ed, he knows all about these things, so we're gonna have him kind of go through the rolling portion of it while the top is at paint. You can see the parts that we took out of it. 67 Mosport. I know you guys saw the previous video on the, or 67, come on, 66 Mosport. They didn't make a 67 Mosport. That's 66 only color. Duh. So that one's a 67. You know how we can tell? The rear light above the license plate there. 67 only. Anyhow, 66 Mosport, 427. This one is going together still. I just made a complete parts order on everything I need to get the rolling chassis underneath the car, and then we're gonna take another gulp at it and get the whole rest of it done in the second swing in terms of the interior and all of the little stuff. I got a lot of it ordered, but I know that there's other stuff that we are missing, so I like to do things in phases. That way I can get it done in gulps. It just makes it easier for me and how I do the process. I lied to you guys previously on this car. This is a 67 coupe, of course, but it is not a big block car. I was thinking of this or another car that we actually have in the background going. This is a small block 67 with power brakes and power steering, non-factory air, so it's not going to have AC. But yeah, just a little side note, because apparently I lost track of our Corvettes here for a brief moment. 65 here, we are doing quite a bit of engine work. This one, it's actually to the point where it's easier to pluck the motor out and just refinish everything. We checked everything. The motor has great compression and oil pressure, and of course it's correct numbers on the block and everything like that. But nonetheless, it needs enough refinish work. It's not to our standards, so plucking the motor out, we're going to completely redo the engine bay on the 65 white car here. This one, we've started disassembling. It's going to be wet sanded and buffed. That's a lot of red, isn't it? If you guys haven't had the chance to like and subscribe to my video, I genuinely appreciate it. And the reason to subscribe to the channel is because a lot of these cars aren't even listed yet. This is your chance. If you're looking to get, you know, the first scoop on the car, it gets no better than this. This one is a customer job. He actually bought it off of his childhood buddy, and we just went through and completely serviced the vehicle, so it's ready to go. Thunderbird, basically just doing all fluids and making sure everything is golden with that. Don't love the fuel tank, so we got a new fuel tank there. Everything else is pretty good on that car. El Camino 72. This one has been sitting since 2008, I believe. Yeah, 2008. This is a real SS 454 big block. Look at how hammered this paint is. Oh my goodness. Wow. Anyhow, so we're gonna have our guy come through, wet sand and buff it. And we don't own this car, by the way. Customer brought it in, but he trusts our judgment. We're gonna get it to where it's at least running and driving, you know, before we approach it. We know that it needs suspension and steering, and the tires are DOT 2004, so they're pretty old, even though they're brand new. I tried a spot on the chrome just to see how much nicer that would come out. It's funny, with a little bit of the correct polish and some steel wool, how nice you can get the chrome to come back out. But yeah, customer project. You guys know about the 59 Art Morrison rear end. We're still kind of deciding what we're gonna do with the engine and induction. It's got a ZZ4 motor in it. If you guys have watched my previous stuff, you know that. We're kind of thinking like a side draft Weber setup actually on the ZZ4 motor would be really wicked on this car. It's already got the Art Morrison 4-link and coilovers, and you know, the Bayer brakes are pretty decent. 9-inch strange rear end. Neat, really neat car. I think it'd be cool with the side draft Webers. They're a little bit tricky to get tuned correctly, but we've been there and done that. So it was either that or some sort of fuel injected motor, but we kind of want to keep it as like a vintage style hot rod, if that makes sense. Yeah, it hasn't been overly updated yet, so we don't want to molest it, I guess, so to speak. 62 fuel injected car. This one is actually waiting. There's the motor for it. It's a real fuel-y car. Oh man, look how dusty. I'm not even gonna go any closer to that thing. It's getting cleaned. The paint is beautiful underneath. It's to the point where we don't want to cover it because it's gonna scratch it. It just needs washed, clay barred, and covered, and that's what we're gonna be doing at the end of this week. Just at least until I can get to the vehicle. So we're gonna finish the Mosport, we're gonna finish the 67. This one, Ed is yanking the motor out, so I'm gonna cut this video kind of short so I can go help him, because he's much like me. He won't ask for help, he'll just do it by himself. Yeah, I mean, kind of like a little background view of what we got going on here at the shop. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you really like this Bel Air. That was the whole purpose of this video, was just to show you that thing. It's super, super clean. So I wanted to put it up here before it goes off into the sunset, so to speak. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.